Shalom, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash, Dev honors to the apostles, Dev honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, that are teaching the truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. I want to play this clip going into how it's a decision on whether or not the city should use the National Guard to patrol the streets to get the crime rate to go down, which that's in all the United States. You know, the once major cities such as New York, LA, Chicago, now Atlanta, it's spreading everywhere, man. New Orleans, Detroit, it's uproars of the people. And they're showing you right in your face on what type of decisions behind the scenes the elite families are making for the lives of regular citizens, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the so-called minorities, and you know, the rest of you other nations outside of Israel. You know, things are forming into the New World Order structure. And the structure is to have military personnel with rifles in their hands guarding different checkpoints in the cities, different streets, restaurants, malls, wherever you may go, they're going to have a uniformed guard with a rifle in their hands, ready to smoke whoever, because they're not going to do a due process and you going to jail because they're not police officers. These are National Guards. So they have an authority to go above and beyond and to really just kill you if you get out of line, such as these crimes that they're going to show in this clip, that one of the reasons why they're doing or making the decision on the National Guards to come into place and patrol the cities besides the regular police officers, because the enforcement of the National Guards that's not being enforced by the regular policemen who they are defunding to go those extreme measures anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, then I'm gonna get into a couple more scriptures. Until then, shalom.
The chief looks to other agencies for assistance. There's one group that won't be on his list.
Chief Bryant says that he's not going to call on the National Guard to help fight crime in the city. Fox 5's Moore Stiggs is here to explain why in this exclusive report.
On a hot summer night, Georgia National Guardsmen lined up in front of Lenox Square to protect the mall stores from looters. It was the turbulent time of street demonstrations. Now in Atlanta, there is a different kind of crisis, a broader crisis that City Council President Felicia Moore discussed with the police chief. Getting enough manpower to get on top of crime. Felicia Moore, the City Council President, brought up a provocative idea.
One question that has come up several times that I will ask you about is they've asked about deploying the National Guard.
I think it's a bit premature to bring in the military. They aren't equipped to do that type of response.
I would have to agree 100% with the chief.
He is Vincent Velasquez, a retired Atlanta homicide detective.
The National Guard are not police officers, and police officers have to operate within a different set of rules.
If the Guard is not the right thing to be considered, then how can police commanders address...
Y'all see these guards coming down the street with shields, and they ain't pulling you to the side trying to get your ID. You see these tanks rolling down the street, and it's downtown Atlanta. You know, when the protest riot was happening, you see the downtown area. This was where we used to speak at too, by the way, the CNN Center, downtown Atlanta, right near Centennial Park. And this time they want them stationary there, not just for a riot, but even when it's an ordinary day, you're just going to see troops and guards at the transit stations, at your regular store that you go into. There's going to be some posted by certain restaurants. And they're not going to leave their post. They may switch out or have shift change with different personnel of the National Guards to patrol their posts until, another shift comes, which meaning they're never going to be off their post. So people want to ride out and do their little crime. Jake want to go out and be stupid, shoot up stuff. That's not going to happen. It's going to be cut down of how many incidents like that happen in the cities or in the streets. Not only in Atlanta, but in America, period. Because ever since this pandemic, a lot of people have been uproaring, going crazy. But now the Most High is bringing more of the sword to the world, especially here in America.
Successfully a myriad of issues, ranging from street racing, where additional...
And I want to make this point too, like, the government sees everything, man. Just because Jake it seem like they getting away with stuff, or they just ended up just going to jail and for all type of crimes, and they get short time, or they do a crime, they don't really get time or sentence, or they just do stuff like this festivity spirit, and thinking that the government is not listing a plan together to combat or enforce this. They're going to enforce the executive orders on you people, man. Obama in 2012 signed the NDAA. I think it was New Year's Eve or around Christmas of 2011 or 2012. I think it was 2012. He signed the NDAA Act, which is the National Defense Agency Act. And them making decisions on the National Guard, which had already been in effect anyway, because all these executive orders that Obama signed off on, that was really created a century ago. But really, those puppets, which are the presidents that have been put in the government seat, was really funded and had the elite agenda pushed through them, through the presidents. That's why these National Guards, that's why they have an executive order for National Guards and stuff like that, to seize your property in a time of a national emergency, which really we're in a national emergency. We're in a state of emergency. And the elite formed these presidents to write all these executive orders for their New World Order that they're going to initiate, and they need a certain enforcement to really get the people in line. And that's what they're doing right now. They're going to get all these people in line, but it's going to be an uproar, but at the same time, the beast is still going to have everything on lock.
Law enforcement resources, local and state, have helped to car crimes to street muggings, leaving innocent victims staring at a gun barrel.
When you move your resources from one side to the other, you leave yourself vulnerable on the backside. Literally, it's kind of like a mobile response force.
And why are there so many gun crimes? 2 reasons, says Velasquez.
Once they're arrested, they make bond. It could be a year before this case is adjudicated and they're back on the street. On the other hand, we have people who have been committing crimes that are not career criminals, that an altercation ensues and a gun is produced and someone's shot.
And the retired Atlanta detective says law-abiding citizens contribute to the gun problem. How? Well, it's because of what they leave inside their vehicle, a weapon. Guns are the number one item thieves look for when they break into your car. From Buckhead, I'm Morris Diggs, Fox 5 News.
You know, I started the
So as
People
you
that are
can
watching
see,
right now,
not only is the government coming down with great wrath, also you got regular people out here waxing cold. You know, a lot of these incidents really shouldn't even be over nothing. It's really be over nothing. It really be petty. And a lot of people lose their lives out here for simply just going to a party or simply pumping gas, simply just being somewhere where they supposed to be at the right time, but in the wrong time, spiritually, because Satan is out here on the prowl. And if you're an Israelite, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, you're supposed to be in the mind frame of repenting and seeking the Lord. And if you haven't seeked the Lord and you seeking to go out in the world and do whatever comes to mind, as long as you got a job and you ain't really doing stuff to make you go to jail, then the Most High going to allow you to be snared and trapped into the ways of Satan. Because the Lord is closing up the doors of mercy, and he's only going to have mercy for his only chosen ones. Look, it says right here in this video, lockdown lifted at JBSA Lackland as shooting reports are investigated. And look what they have out here. This is what they got patrolling.
We start with a report that there was an active shooter at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland this morning. Minutes later, that base on lockdown with all those inside told to take cover. That lockdown has since been lifted.
And no one was injured, and now Lackland's base security says they aren't even sure if a shooting happened at all. Garrett Berger, live outside the Valley High Gate on the west side of the base with the very latest. Garrett, what are they saying right now?
Well, right now, they're not saying much for certain of anything. Now, originally, the base's public affairs office sent out a release saying that 2 shooters had fired at the base from around this general area at the Valley High Gate. However,
see, regular people, man, the people should not regard their kings and princes. These people don't give a damn about the police and the army, national troops. They still out here looting. They still out here going to riot. They still out here going to do whatever they want to do. But the Lord is building up this case against you Israelites, man. He's building up their case. He's already built up their case with Esau and these other nations, but you Jakes have a chance. But through the process of time, when the Lord is allowing you to have liberty to seek out his ways, to seek the word of the Lord, and you do it not, the Most High is also loading up your rewards for wickedness that you're doing. And he's causing these acts to be a proof against you that, look, you didn't take my offering to be delivered from this hell that I'm about to bring on this world, on this land. Now you will suffer with the evildoers, because Esau and the other nations, they are already marked for death. You know, they don't have a chance to seek the Most High and to be delivered. Why? Because they're not part of the covenant. But you Jakes do. But 2/3 of Israel should not be saved, but should die by the famine, sword, and pestilence. All these wickedness, it's like all these wicked acts that are going on in the world, children getting abducted, murdered, raped, killed in a worse way, along with young women, older women, young men and older men, etc. The elder Menat Zabak from the South Carolina camp posted a video of a 10-year-old boy getting shot by a damn gook, so-called Asian, for leaving his bike in his front yard. You know, and that's just the Lord showing that it don't matter what age you are, you're going to get touched if you're not part of the elect.
hearing later, from the commander of the base's Security Forces Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Lovelace, he told us that no one actually saw anyone shooting, and they're still trying to confirm that any shots were fired at all. Now,
and they can make up stuff, but it can also be real too. So either way it goes, the government is going to come in with great wrath, man. Like, here it is. You know, people thinking that the government don't see this. The government he's really actually provoking these things to happen, because he got his agent provocateurs out here stirring up stuff. Because regular people, they ain't really doing this type of stuff. Now, you got Jake in the Hood somewhat, but back to back, and it seemed like all these crimes that they catch on camera are really professionals, man. Because some of them don't get caught. They keep doing it. You got people on camera, they keep showing them faces and bragging on how many bodies they got and stuff like that. And some of these people just get out on bond, and, you know, it's just madness, man. But all this is towards the New World Order out of chaos.
Lovelace said an on-base building called dispatch at about 11:50 for shots being fired from off-base. Now, a news release later said that the shooting was reported at about 12:15. Now, there were reports of 2 shots fired, Lovelace said, but no one actually saw anyone shooting the gun. Now,
Tell you, man, it's gonna get worse, man. You're gonna see a lot of people in shock when they have these soldiers out in these public areas just simply patrolling. And it's not going to be only for that day, because it's an event going on or festivity going on in the city or the towns. It's going to be all year round. It's going to be when the children go back to school. It's going to be regular work day. You're just going to see a lot of these troops with these weapons in these uniforms, and they're gonna make an example out of a lot of Jakes, out of a lot of you people. They're not just gonna be posted up there for no reason. So these are the times that the Lord said we were gonna be in. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse verse 14. This is prophecy. This is the testimony of Yahweh Shah, because Yahweh Shah prophesied about these things, which all the prophets prophesied about these things to come. Like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 1. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. And it's a lot of destruction, which that word woe goes into. It's a lot of destruction appearing on the earth. You know, it's like at times, man, you don't even want to go out the house. You don't even want to. And through the spirit, man, I catch myself like that sometimes. Not just, you know, looking at the video like, oh man, you know, but it's like the spirit is not, it's not peaceful out here no more. You know, besides looking at the news and stuff like that, you know, you don't just be indulged in the news, be like, oh man, maybe a shooting at the store, not going to the store. Nah, it's literally the spirit is on us. And you know, we just more cautious now out here because Satan is seeking who he may devour, not thinking that you're going to get put in predicament that the Most High can get you out of, or you have to go get a weapon, because our warfare is not carnal, but it's spiritual, pursuant to Ephesians chapter 6, I think around the 12th verse on down. And that's how it seemed through the spirit that, you know, that mirth spirit is gone. The Most High is closing the doors of mercy and grace, and he's only sealing his elect, because the Most High is allowing the death angel to touch a lot of people, man, and it's mainly you Jakes. So the spirit of woe is out here in the world. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh. See, it's drawing near and near and near, and it's like people don't even see these things, man. People are worried about a goddamn PPP loan, which a lot of these people are going to jail for, and in particular you Jakes. You know, I saw a video of one Jake getting his haircut, and the police was right behind him, and he filmed him on his phone, saying that, yeah, man, they got me, man, I'm about to go. He's sitting up there with a stupid look on his face, and, you know, he tried to make mockery of, you know, the police and the barber that was cutting his hair, which was Jake. He was like, chill out, man. You know, he was in the spirit like, man, nigga, you stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, them people weren't playing about their money. And that PPP loan was really just a setup for a lot of you Jakes. You know, so they can have shade over you. To be like, yeah, we did this for y'all, but this what y'all do. So we're going to treat y'all like this. We're going to treat y'all like animals. And that's what he did when he locked all these Jakes up, man. A lot of Jakes that had over $20,000 and above, because I heard $20,000 if you get it, the loan, if you really didn't use the money for what it was, but you received the money, which is $20,000. You don't receive no prison time, but you do receive probation and stuff like that. And it can be valuable as a felon on your record. But anything above $20,000, you're gonna get jail time. A lot of few Jakes been buying Bentleys and all that. That costs over $20,000. A lot of Jakes are going to jail for like years behind something that they got in within like 3 days and tried to endure for a month, but now they going to jail for 3 years, and that's deceptive from the elite, which a lot of you Jakes are not are privy to, because the government is pulling the strings in this society. He can lock everybody in their homes and then tell them to come out and wear a mask and force them to get a shot to stay on their job. All of these things is happening because the elite banking family at the top is ready to rearrange the world into their new world order. And in that new world order, they want you to get this chip, which is the mark of the beast, which is written in Revelation chapter 13, around 16 verse. It really just breaks down and explains the basis of the chip, which he's going to control, buy and sell, trades, control your living habits, arrangements, etc. Because right now, the main medium or exchange for trade, sell and buy, is cash. For the most part. But he's doing away with that by inflating the monies to where it's worthless. And then they have to rearrange the whole money system into this digital system, which everything is going digital, but it's going to be a medium for the cash. It's going to be a new medium and instead of the cash, which is the RFID chip. And the Lord told our people not to get that. And if you don't get it, you're going to be put to death. And it says one people should stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands. Yeah, it's happening now. It's happening now. I just showed 2 clips. And they showed several clips within the clip of people getting robbed at gunpoint on camera. Violent things are happening at public places, etc. Somebody shooting at the the National Guard base. Atlanta is making a decision to put the National Guards on the troops permanently. So the Lord is causing these scriptures to come to life. And the more this happened, the more we're out of this society, man. We're out of this captivity. And we're going back to our first estate. And one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there should be sedition among men, which it is a separation among men. And invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions should stand in their power. A lot of people ain't caring about the police and the actions behind doing certain acts like murder and doing, terrorist acts in the eyes of the government. They're not caring no more, man. So a lot of people getting off because they have the money to. And some of these are staged, agent provocateur acts of crimes committed, and they're pushing that evidence towards the government's desk to have the government to sign off on certain executive orders to be passed out and placed in the society and ran as such, which is according to the New World Order plans. To the point that, hey, if you don't get this chip, or if you don't obey the draconian laws, then you're going to get annihilated. You're going to get killed because they have the power to. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Yeah, it's going to be a point that they're going to have checkpoints set up, and you ain't going to be able to go in without the chip. Just like they did with this jab, this Crown 19 shots. Now they're making it mandatory in certain jobs to have to where if you don't take that shot or that jab, you're going to be fired, or you're not going to be qualified for the job. So it's no longer a degree, a college degree. It's all about the jab. The jab is the college degree. Goddamn Satan, man. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, so we knowing the time is the time that the Most High spoke about Jacob's trouble, the time that the Lord's going to come back and visit the earth which he made, World War III, the time of the mark of the beast image, which is his system, New World Order being put into place. It's all happening now, yo. Romans chapter 13, verse 11 again, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. So we shouldn't be going out here trying to, seek what a party at and stuff like that. Which that's the spirit too, because you see that every party that Jake go to, that the news shows about a murder or that took place at the party, it shows that it's corrupt. They just got the party in bold letters that people see and think that it's going to be a party. But it's not a party, man. It's a party of Satan, part of demons. Every party, which it's been a lot of parties since the year began, man. And ever since the year began, the news has been coming out about these shootings at parties, man. And it never ends. It's like Jake don't even watch the freaking news, man. 3 people shot at a party, killed, gone. And all they wanted to do was go and party. But we're not in that time. We're in the time of war. And it's a spiritual war. It's not a carnal war. So the armor of light is this truth. Verse 13, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness. Yeah, everybody's in rioting and drunken spirit, man. A lot of these road rage killings, well, really murders. People just frantic, man. Everybody in a cold state. But the elect is in a refuge of the Lord, and they're not going to be caught out here like that. Not in rioting and drunkenness like everybody is not in the Lord's grace. Not in chambering and wantonness. That's at those parties. Those type of spirits, that rioting, drunkenness spirit, the chambering and wantonness spirit is at these parties, and that's how Satan can snare evilness in these parties and have Jake to just go slap off, and the Lord allows it to happen. Not in strife and envyings. It's a lot of strife and envy out here, man. One Jake I saw on the news, he got killed by his coworker because he had a certain amount of money on his paycheck. Which you Jakes out there, you shouldn't be telling nobody your business. Goes to show you, you gotta know who to do good to and who not to do good to. And life shows you. And Jake out here is they are literally clones of Esau. Those Jakes that been this murdering, strife, envy spirit, they have the spirit of Satan on them, man, and you must detach yourself from them, or otherwise you're going to get caught up in them. The Lord said, dwell not with a brawler, man. And a lot of these Jakes are brawlers. A lot of these Jakes on their gang stuff. A lot of these Jakes are into other philosophies and doctrines, Muslim. There's one cat named Rollo. He was a big time drug dealer turned rapper. He was leading Jake astray into that Muslim hood stuff. And you know, it was in the most wickedest, degraded neighborhoods in the city, which is over there in the Bluff, Zone 1 of Atlanta. And it's nothing but hell down there, man. It's a desolate place. And Jake is in more hell over there from where it was before, because it wasn't Jake claiming that Allah stuff over there in the 90s. I used to stay over there, and there wasn't no Jake claiming to be Muslim and stuff like that. And Jake's just into this gang life and all that. It wasn't nothing like that before, but now it's worse, man. It's worse. And the blind is leading the blind. The Lord is allowing it. But the Lord is also allowing the elect to be sealed. This is my last scripture, verse 14. But put ye on the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. And what's putting on the Lord? It mentioned the Lord being the word in John chapter 1. And that's what it's talking about. Putting on this word, putting this word in your mind. And make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. And that's where a lot of Jakes get caught up at, as the lust of the flesh. Going to these parties, going to these festivals, staying out all nights of the hour of the night, meeting up with whomever they want to. And a lot of Jakes turn up on the news dead. Why? Because they didn't want to hearken or seeking to what's really going on, besides numbing the pain with partying and drinking their sorrows away outside from work and school and whatever routine they got going on in life that's meeting their goals to get somewhere productively in the society. will show you that we're in the last days. The Lord is showing that Esau is not who the world thinks he is. He's not an upright man. He's not a God. He's not a righteous man. He's the devil. He's the wicked that ruleth over everybody and that has everybody mourning. But the Most High is putting them out the way. So with that, I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Quorum the elect, Shalom.